a reason the greatest civilizations in history mastered energy. The Egyptians, the Taoists, the yogis, the mystics, they all knew the hidden force that shapes reality. They did not just study energy, they controlled it. But over time, this knowledge was taken, suppressed, buried beneath myth and secrecy, because those who control their own energy cannot be controlled by others. Yet something inside you has always known the truth. You have felt it. The unexplainable moments of deep intuition. The shift in energy when you enter a room. The electric charge in moments of intense focus. This is not coincidence. This is energy in motion. And you are far more powerful than you have been led to believe. Today, we uncover the ancient techniques they tried to erase. The lost methods of energy cultivation. The secrets hidden in temples, sacred texts, and mystery schools. Because once you understand how energy flows, you will never see reality the same way again. What if I told you that you have a hidden energy force within you, one that ancient civilizations used to shape reality itself, but this knowledge was deliberately erased, hidden from the masses? Why? And how can you reclaim it? For centuries, this understanding was passed down only to the initiated, kept in temples, mystery schools, and sacred texts. The Egyptians, the Taoists, the yogis, the alchemists, they all knew the truth. Energy is not just something you feel. It is something you can control, something you can harness, amplify, and direct with precision. But over time, this knowledge was buried, suppressed, labeled as myth, because those who control their own energy cannot be controlled by others. Society was designed to keep you disconnected, to make you believe that power is external, that reality is fixed, that you are small. But deep down, you have always known this wasn't true. You have felt it, in moments of heightened awareness, in the surge of energy during deep emotion, in the way certain thoughts seem to ripple into existence. This is not imagination, it is energy, and it is time to reclaim it. Throughout history, those who understood energy shaped the world. The great spiritual masters, the architects of ancient civilizations, the mystics who saw beyond illusion. They did not wait for life to happen to them. They commanded reality. They knew that energy is not just something that moves through the body. It is the very force that holds the universe together. And yet, in modern times, this knowledge has been lost to most. Not because it disappeared, but because people were conditioned to forget, taught to look outward instead of inward, distracted, disconnected. You were never told how to activate your own energy, never shown how to direct it, never taught how to harness the same forces the ancients mastered. But now, that changes, because this knowledge was never truly lost. It was hidden, waiting for those who are ready to seek it, waiting for those who are ready to step beyond illusion and into mastery. In this journey, you will uncover the ancient techniques of energy cultivation. You will learn how to sense, store, and direct energy with intention, how to unlock the hidden force within you, how to reshape not just your inner world, but the reality around you. This is not just another philosophy, not just another idea. This is the foundation of real power. Energy follows awareness. And the moment you begin to see it, the moment you begin to feel it, it becomes real. It becomes something you can use, something you can refine, something you can command. The ancients knew this secret. Now, it is your turn to reclaim it. Throughout history, knowledge has been the greatest form of power. The ability to understand the unseen forces of the universe, to control energy, to direct thought and intention. These are not just mystical ideas, but fundamental truths that those in power have always sought to control. Energy mastery is not new. It has been known for thousands of years. But instead of being openly shared, it was hidden, suppressed, and restricted to those deemed worthy of wielding it. In ancient civilizations, this knowledge was reserved for priests, pharaohs, emperors, and initiates of secret orders. In Egypt, energy mastery was encoded into hieroglyphs and temple rituals, but only those within the priesthood had full access to its power. In China, Taoist masters trained in Qigong and internal alchemy, using breath and movement to cultivate life force. But these teachings were often passed down only to disciples who had proven their dedication. In India, the great yogis and sages understood how prana flowed through the body, but much of their wisdom remained hidden in Sanskrit texts, requiring years of disciplined study to access. As time went on, this sacred knowledge was increasingly removed from public reach. Religious institutions, secret societies, and ruling elites saw the dangers of a fully awakened population. A person who understands energy is not easily controlled. They are not reliant on external authority for their well-being. They do not need an intermediary to connect with the divine because they know the power resides within themselves. And so, the greatest secret of all time was buried, not by accident, but by design. Religious institutions played a key role in this suppression. As spiritual teachings became centralized into organized religions, many original energy practices were labeled as heresy, superstition, or even witchcraft. Breathwork, meditation, sacred geometry, and energy healing, once essential components of spiritual awakening, were either erased or transformed into symbolic rituals that no longer contained their original power. The knowledge remained, but it was veiled in metaphor, hidden beneath layers of dogma, accessible only to those who could decipher it. Secret societies also preserved and controlled this wisdom, but instead of sharing it with the world, they used it to maintain power. Groups like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and various occult orders studied energy, consciousness, and the laws of manifestation, but only for those within their inner circles. The very same techniques that could elevate humanity were instead used to control it, ensuring that only a select few could harness the full potential of energy mastery. But no matter how hard they tried, this knowledge was never truly lost. It survived in fragments, hidden within sacred texts, whispered through oral traditions, encoded in ancient symbols, waiting for those with eyes to see. Now, in an era of rapid awakening, people are beginning to reclaim what was once taken from them. More than ever, individuals are breaking free from the illusion that power lies outside of them. The truth is, you were never meant to be powerless. You were never meant to be disconnected from your own energy. And as you begin to unlock this forgotten wisdom, you will realize that the greatest secret they kept from you was that the power was yours all along. Energy is the foundation of everything. It is the unseen force that flows through all living beings, the pulse that moves the universe, the essence that connects the physical and the non-physical. Yet for most people, energy remains an abstract concept, something they cannot see, something they have been taught to ignore. But the truth is, whether or not you are aware of it, energy is shaping your reality in every moment. It is present in your thoughts, your emotions, your body, and everything you interact with. The only difference between those who drift through life unconsciously and those who shape their destiny with precision is awareness of this energy and the ability to direct it. Across cultures and spiritual traditions, this force has been given many names. The Hindus called it prana, the universal life force that sustains all things. In China, it was known as qi, the energy that flows through the body's meridians, influencing health, vitality, and mental clarity. The ancient Egyptians spoke of Sekhem, the divine power that could be harnessed through sacred rituals and temple initiations. In Western esoteric traditions, this force was called ether, or the astral light, an invisible substance that permeates existence and can be manipulated through intention and will. Despite the differences in language, all of these teachings point to the same fundamental truth. Energy is real, and it is the very substance from which reality is formed. Everything in existence, every object, every thought, every emotion, has a vibrational frequency. Science now confirms what the ancients always knew. Matter is not solid, but energy in motion. Quantum physics has revealed that what appears to be physical is actually a vast field of vibrating particles, constantly shifting based on observation and interaction. Your body, too, is an energy system. Your thoughts send out electrical impulses. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field, and your emotions alter your vibrational frequency. This means that your entire being is both receiving and transmitting energy at all times. The implications of this are profound. If everything is energy, then you are not separate from the world around you. You are a field of energy, interacting with and influencing the universe at every moment. Your dominant thoughts and emotions create resonance, attracting experiences that match your frequency. This is why a person who constantly dwells on negativity will continue to encounter struggle, while someone who radiates confidence and certainty will naturally attract opportunities. Energy does not respond to words, it responds to vibration. Most people remain unaware of the energy they emit. They assume life happens to them, unaware that their own frequency is shaping their experiences. But those who understand energy know that by shifting their internal state, they can shift external reality. This is why ancient masters trained in energy cultivation, not just for physical health or spiritual enlightenment, but because they knew that who you are energetically determines what you experience. You are not just a physical being. You are an energy field, constantly interacting with the universe, constantly influencing and shaping reality. The question is not whether energy is affecting your life. The question is whether you are controlling it or letting it control you. For centuries, ancient spiritual traditions have spoken of an invisible force that shapes reality, an energy field that connects all living things responding to thought, intention, and emotion. But what was once considered mysticism is now being validated by modern science. Quantum physics, neurobiology, and electromagnetic research are proving that energy is not just a spiritual concept. It is the foundation of all existence. At the heart of this revelation lies quantum mechanics, a branch of physics that studies the behavior of particles at the smallest levels of existence. Unlike classical physics, which operates on predictable laws, quantum mechanics reveals a universe that is fluid, uncertain, and deeply influenced by observation. The double-slit experiment, one of the most famous studies in quantum physics, demonstrated something remarkable. Particles behave differently depending on whether they are being observed or not. When left unobserved, they exist in a state of pure potential, waves of possibility. But the moment they are measured, they collapse into a single outcome, taking on a fixed state. This phenomenon, known as the observer effect, suggests that consciousness itself influences reality, The mere act of focusing attention on something changes its behavior. If this applies to the smallest particles of matter, then it follows that human thought, an electromagnetic signal produced by the brain, must also have an effect on the external world. This is exactly what ancient mystics have taught for millennia, that mind and matter are not separate, but deeply intertwined. Beyond quantum physics, research into the human electromagnetic field further supports the idea that we are constantly transmitting and receiving energy. The HeartMath Institute has discovered that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body. This field not only influences the emotions and mental state of the individual, but also interacts with the energy of others. When a person is in a state of coherence, meaning their heart and brain are in sync, their electromagnetic field becomes more harmonious, strengthening their ability to focus, heal, and even influence their surroundings. This aligns perfectly with the teachings of prana, chi, and chi, which describe energy as something that flows through the body, can be expanded, and has a direct effect on the external world. In Taoist traditions, it is said that when a person cultivates their internal energy through breathwork and meditation, their field becomes so strong that it can affect people, objects, and even nature. In scientific terms, this means their bioelectromagnetic frequency is intensified, increasing their ability to influence the quantum field. When you combine ancient wisdom with modern science, a clear picture emerges. You are not just a passive observer of reality. You are actively shaping it with your energy. Your thoughts send signals, your emotions generate frequency, and your overall state of being determines the experiences you attract. The same universal principles that govern subatomic particles also govern the human mind and body. This is not philosophy, this is physics. If reality responds to observation, frequency, and coherence, then mastering energy is not just a spiritual practice, it is a science. And those who learn to direct their energy with intention gain the ability to reshape their reality at will. The only question is, are you ready to step into that power? For thousands of years, the mastery of energy was considered the highest form of knowledge, reserved only for those willing to dedicate themselves to its understanding. Across civilizations, from the temples of Egypt to the monasteries of Tibet, from the forests where shamans walked in trance to the sacred caves where yogis meditated for decades, energy training was not just a practice. It was a path to enlightenment, power, and transformation. The initiates of these ancient traditions understood something that modern society has forgotten. The body is a vessel for energy, and when properly trained, it can transcend its limitations. But mastery was not granted easily. It required years of rigorous training, self-discipline, and absolute devotion. These teachings were not given to the masses. They were passed down in secrecy, hidden within rituals, symbols, and coded texts to ensure that only those who were truly ready could access them. In ancient Egypt, energy mastery was woven into the very fabric of their civilization. The pyramids, often mistaken for mere tombs, were actually energetic structures built with sacred geometry to channel cosmic forces. Egyptian priests underwent years of initiation within temple complexes, such as those in Karnak and Luxor, where they practiced breath control, sound healing, and energy transference. Hieroglyphs depict initiates standing between two pillars, representing the balance of forces, masculine and feminine, material and spiritual, energy and matter. These teachings were said to come from Thoth, the god of wisdom, who revealed the secrets of manifestation and alchemy. In China, Taoist masters developed Qigong, an internal alchemy, teaching that Qi, the life force energy, could be cultivated, stored, and directed. They studied how breath could move energy through the meridians of the body, how emotions could strengthen or weaken one's internal power, and how focused intention could affect the physical world. The legendary Taoist immortals were said to have achieved extraordinary longevity, healing abilities, and even the power to influence the elements through their mastery of energy. The yogis of India spent their entire lives refining their understanding of prana, the breath of life. They practiced pranayama to expand their energy field, meditation to raise their vibration, and kundalini activation to awaken their dormant power. Some isolated themselves in caves for years, living in states of deep meditation, where they entered altered states of consciousness, transcending the limitations of the physical world. It was said that the most advanced yogis could slow their heartbeat, survive without food, or even manifest objects through their command of energy. The shamans of indigenous cultures worked with energy in yet another way. They saw energy as something that could be communicated with. Spirits, plants, and elements all carried frequencies that could be accessed. Through rhythmic drumming, chanting, fasting, and plant medicines, they entered trance states where they could shift reality, heal sickness, and gain knowledge beyond the physical realm. Though these traditions developed in different parts of the world, their teachings were remarkably similar. Energy is the foundation of life, and those who learn to control it gain access to a higher state of being. These were not myths or fantasies. They were skills, carefully refined over centuries, hidden from those who were not ready to wield them. This knowledge was never truly lost. It was buried, disguised, and made difficult to access, but it remains, waiting for those with the eyes to see. The same energy that these masters trained to control still flows through you. The only difference between them and the modern world is that they were willing to dedicate themselves to its mastery. The question is, are you? Before you can master energy, you must first learn to feel it. Most people go through life unaware of the subtle forces that surround and flow through them. They mistake the body for something purely physical, unaware that an invisible field of energy extends beyond the skin, constantly interacting with the environment. But once you become aware of this energy, once you learn to sense it, your perception shifts completely. You no longer experience yourself as just a body. You recognize yourself as an energetic being, influencing and being influenced by the frequencies around you. The first step in this process is developing sensitivity to your own energy field. This field, often called the aura or biofield, radiates from you at all times, carrying information about your emotional state, health, and thoughts. While some highly trained individuals can see auras as colors, most people can learn to feel their energy with practice. A simple yet powerful way to do this is the hand energy exercise. Begin by rubbing your hands together briskly for about 15 seconds. As you do this, imagine that you are charging your palms with energy, activating the natural bioelectric current that flows through your body. After a few moments, slowly separate your hands, holding them a few inches apart. Pay attention to the sensation between them. Do you feel warmth, a tingling, a slight magnetic resistance? This is your own energy field, the first proof that energy is real, tangible, and something you can learn to control. Once you can sense this energy between your hands, you can begin to expand your awareness to the space around your entire body. Close your eyes and shift your focus to the edges of your physical form. See if you can detect a subtle field extending beyond your skin. Some people describe it as a light pressure, a static-like sensation, or even a cool or warm presence. The more you practice, the more distinct this feeling becomes. Another way to experience energy is through aura sensing. Stand a few feet away from a partner or a mirror and hold your hands out, palms facing forward. Slowly move them toward and away from your body, paying attention to where you sense a shift in pressure or resistance. Some people feel a noticeable difference a few inches away from the skin, while others sense it much further out. This is your aura, the energy field that extends beyond your physical form. As your sensitivity develops, you will start noticing vibrational shifts around you. Walking into a room, you may suddenly feel dense, heavy energy, or in other spaces, you may feel an uplifting, expansive sensation. This is because everything, places, objects, even other people, has an energy field that interacts with your own. The ability to sense energy is not reserved for mystics or psychics. It is a natural human ability that has simply been forgotten. But once you awaken this sense, you gain access to an entirely new level of perception. The unseen becomes seen, the intangible becomes real, and the world around you is no longer just physical. It is alive with energy, waiting for you to learn how to direct it. Breath is the bridge between the physical and the energetic. It is the one function of the body that operates both automatically and consciously, allowing us to take control of something most people never think about. The ancients understood that breathing is far more than just inhaling and exhaling air. It is a tool for directing life force, for unlocking higher states of awareness, and for amplifying energy. In many traditions, breath is synonymous with energy itself. The Hindus called it prana, the Chinese called it qi, the Egyptians called it ka. No matter the name, the principle remains the same. Breathwork is the foundation of energy mastery. The way you breathe determines how energy moves through your body. Shallow, unconscious breathing keeps you in a low energy state, restricting the flow of qi and keeping your mind foggy and unfocused. Deep, intentional breathing, on the other hand, activates the nervous system, expands your energetic field, and increases your ability to direct energy with precision. This is why every ancient energy system, from Qigong to yoga to Tibetan breath practices, places breathwork at its core. One of the simplest but most powerful breathing techniques is the 4-7-8 breath. This method is designed to slow the heart rate, shift the body into a parasympathetic state, and enhance energy flow. To practice, inhale deeply through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly through the mouth for 8 seconds. The longer exhale activates the vagus nerve, calming the body and mind while allowing energy to circulate freely. Repeating this cycle for just a few minutes can clear mental fog, reduce anxiety, and heighten energetic sensitivity. For those seeking to expand their energy capacity, the Wim Hof method is a powerful tool. Inspired by ancient Tibetan breath practices, this technique involves deep rhythmic breathing followed by breath retention, creating an oxygen-rich state that charges the body's energy reserves. The process is simple. Take 30 deep breaths, fully inhaling and then exhaling without force. After the final breath, hold your breath for as long as possible. When you need to inhale, take a deep breath in. Hold for 15 seconds, then release. This practice oxygenates the blood, awakens dormant energy, and increases endurance, not just physically, but energetically. For those drawn to Eastern traditions, Qigong breathwork is an essential practice. Unlike forceful breathing techniques, Qigong breathing is about gentle, intentional control of the breath to cultivate and circulate qi. One of the core exercises is Dantian breathing, where you focus on expanding the lower abdomen with each inhale and gently contracting it with each exhale. This technique builds the body's energy reserves, strengthens the aura, and enhances the ability to direct energy throughout the body. Breath is the gateway to energy mastery. The way you breathe affects how you think, how you feel, and how your energy flows. By consciously working with your breath, you gain access to a power that has been with you all along, one that can heal, transform, and awaken the dormant forces within. Within you lies a vast network of energy channels, constantly flowing, constantly influencing your physical, mental, and emotional state. The ancients understood that energy doesn't just move randomly. It follows specific pathways, forming an intricate system that governs your health, vitality, and even your spiritual awareness. This system has been described in different ways across cultures, yet the core principles remain the same. The Hindus mapped it as chakras, spinning wheels of energy that regulate different aspects of being. The Chinese described it through meridians, invisible channels that direct the flow of qi throughout the body. Both systems reveal the same truth. When energy flows freely, you thrive. When it becomes blocked, imbalance and illness arise. There are 7 main chakras, each located along the spine, each serving as a gateway between your physical and energetic self. At the base of your spine is the root chakra, the foundation of stability and survival. Just above it, the sacral chakra, governing emotions and creativity. The solar plexus chakra fuels personal power and confidence. The heart chakra bridges the physical and spiritual, the seat of love and connection. The throat chakra controls expression. The third eye chakra governs intuition. And at the crown of the head, the crown chakra connects you to higher consciousness. Each chakra vibrates at a different frequency, and when they are in balance, you experience clarity, strength, and alignment with your higher self. But life, with its stresses, fears, and emotional wounds, disrupts this flow. Blockages form, energy stagnates, and the effects ripple through the body and mind. A blocked root chakra may leave you feeling anxious and unstable, unable to find security in the world. A constricted heart chakra can make it difficult to give or receive love. When the third eye is clouded, intuition weakens, and decision-making becomes unclear. Every imbalance in the energy body eventually manifests in some form. Fatigue, emotional instability, even chronic illness. In Chinese medicine, the meridian system reveals another level of this energetic flow. 12 primary meridians run through the body, each connected to a vital organ, each responsible for maintaining balance. When qi moves smoothly through these channels, the body functions in harmony. But when energy becomes blocked due to stress, poor diet, or unresolved emotions, disease takes root. Acupuncture, acupressure, and Qigong all work to restore this balance, ensuring that life force flows where it is needed most. Energy healing traditions across the world have always emphasized the same fundamental principle. Healing begins with the movement of energy. Before disease appears in the body, it first exists as an energetic disruption. Before mental fog clouds the mind, there is an imbalance in the flow of qi. The good news is, these imbalances can be corrected. Through breathwork, meditation, movement, and focused intention, the chakras can be realigned, the meridians cleared, and the body restored to its natural state of vitality. You are not just a physical being moving through the world. You are an energy system, constantly interacting with the forces around you. The more you learn to sense, balance, and direct your own energy, the more power you have to shape your health, your emotions, and your reality itself. Deep within your body lies a reservoir of energy, a place where life force is gathered, stored, and cultivated. In Chinese medicine, this energy center is known as the lower dantian, often called the sea of energy. It is the foundation of vitality, the root of strength, and the source from which all other energy flows. Located just below the navel, the lower dantian acts as your body's battery, constantly charging and distributing energy throughout your system. When properly activated and cultivated, it becomes an unlimited source of power, enhancing physical health, mental clarity, and even spiritual awareness. Unlike the chakras, which are often viewed as spinning energy centers, the dantian is more like a deep internal storage unit, a place where energy is gathered, condensed, and refined. In ancient Taoist practices, the lower dantian was considered the foundation of all energy work. Without a strong, active dantian, energy would dissipate quickly, leaving the body weak and unbalanced. Monks, martial artists, and Qigong practitioners spend years developing this internal reservoir, ensuring that their energy remained abundant and controlled. The first step in activating the lower dantian is awareness. Most people never consciously connect to this part of their body, allowing energy to leak away rather than be stored. To begin, sit in a comfortable position, spine straight, shoulders relaxed. Place your hands gently over your lower abdomen, just below the navel. As you inhale deeply through your nose, imagine energy collecting in this space, gathering like a golden light or a warm glow deep within your core. As you exhale, feel this energy condensing, becoming stronger, more concentrated. Each breath draws more life force into the lower dantian, charging it like a battery. Another powerful technique is dantian breathing. Instead of shallow chest breathing, shift your focus downward. Inhale deeply, expanding your lower belly rather than your chest, allowing the breath to fill the space around the dantian. Then exhale slowly, feeling your energy settle deeper into your core. This practice not only strengthens the lower dantian, but also calms the mind, reduces stress, and increases overall vitality. For those seeking to refine their energy even further, Qigong movements specifically designed for the lower dantian can amplify results. Gentle flowing motions synchronized with deep breathing help guide energy into the dantian, reinforcing its stability and strength. With consistent practice, this energy center becomes more active, more dynamic. You begin to feel a deep warmth, a steady pulse of power radiating from within. Over time, a fully activated lower dantian transforms the way you experience life. Physical strength improves, endurance increases, and emotions become more balanced. The scattered, restless energy that most people experience is replaced with a sense of grounded presence. When your energy is cultivated and stored, rather than wasted, you gain a deeper sense of control, clarity, and power. This is not just a practice. It is a fundamental shift in how you interact with your own life force. When your lower dantian is strong, your entire energetic system becomes more stable. The more you build this internal power, the more you realize that energy is not something external to be sought. It is something that has always been within you, waiting to be awakened. Energy is not just something that moves within you. It is something that flows through you, constantly interacting with the environment around you. Most people spend their lives disconnected, caught up in thoughts, stress, and distractions, unaware that their energy is scattered and unstable. But the ancient masters understood a secret that has been largely forgotten today. To cultivate strong energy, you must first be grounded. Grounding is the practice of connecting your energy to the earth, stabilizing your system, and allowing the natural frequencies of the planet to restore balance. The earth itself is alive with energy, constantly emitting an electromagnetic field that interacts with every living being. When you make direct contact with the ground, whether through walking barefoot, touching the soil, or even submerging yourself in water, your energy field synchronizes with this natural rhythm. Tension is released, scattered thoughts clear, and the body recalibrates. One of the simplest ways to ground yourself is through earthing, the practice of standing or walking barefoot on natural surfaces like grass, sand, or soil. In modern life, people are almost always insulated from the earth, wearing shoes with synthetic soles, living in buildings raised above ground, rarely making direct contact with the planet beneath them. Over time, this disconnect creates an energetic imbalance. The body holds onto excess static energy, leading to restlessness, anxiety, and even physical discomfort. But the moment you place your bare feet on the earth, something changes. A subtle but powerful exchange takes place, discharging excess energy and recharging your body with the natural frequencies of the earth. Breathing deeply as you stand barefoot enhances this effect. As you inhale, imagine drawing in the earth's energy through the soles of your feet, allowing it to rise up through your body. As you exhale, visualize any tension, stress, or scattered energy flowing down into the earth, being absorbed and neutralized. With each breath, you become more present, more stable, more connected. Another effective grounding method is to physically interact with nature. Sitting against a tree, touching the leaves of a plant, or immersing your hands in running water can quickly restore energetic balance. The ancients knew that trees act as natural conduits for energy, absorbing dense vibrations and returning a sense of calm to those who connect with them. Water, too, is a powerful purifier. Standing in a river, swimming in the ocean, or even placing your hands in a bowl of water can clear stagnant energy and reset your system. Modern science is beginning to validate what ancient traditions have always taught. Studies on grounding have shown that making direct contact with the earth can reduce inflammation, lower stress levels, and improve sleep. The body's electrical charge stabilizes, creating a greater sense of well-being and mental clarity. When you are grounded, your energy flows more freely. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions more balanced, and your intuition sharper. Instead of feeling disconnected and overwhelmed, you become rooted, strong, and fully present. Grounding is not just about feeling calm. It is about creating a foundation from which energy can be cultivated and directed with purpose. Once you learn to anchor yourself in the earth's energy, everything else in your energy practice becomes more powerful, more effective, and more deeply integrated into your daily life. The hands are more than just tools for physical action. They are powerful conductors of energy. Across ancient traditions, mystics and spiritual practitioners understood that specific hand positions, known as mudras, could be used to direct, store, and transform energy within the body. These gestures were not just symbolic. They were carefully designed to influence the flow of prana, chi, or life force energy. Through precise positioning of the fingers, mudras act as circuitry for energy flow, activating different channels in the body and creating shifts in consciousness. In Hinduism and Buddhism, mudras have been used for thousands of years in meditation, prayer, and ritual. Yogis practice them to deepen their spiritual states, while monks use them to quiet the mind and awaken inner power. These sacred hand symbols were believed to bridge the gap between the physical and the divine, allowing practitioners to align with higher frequencies of existence. But beyond the spiritual aspect, there is a deep energetic science behind how mudras work. Each finger represents an elemental force within the body. The thumb corresponds to fire, the index finger to air, the middle finger to ether, the ring finger to earth, and the little finger to water. When these fingers come together in specific arrangements, they create energetic circuits, enhancing or balancing different aspects of life force energy. Some mudras stimulate vitality, others sharpen focus, and some open gateways to deeper states of meditation. By positioning the hands intentionally, you can shift your mental, emotional, and energetic state almost instantly. One of the most well-known mudras is Gyan Mudra, where the thumb and index finger touch, while the other fingers remain extended. This simple yet powerful gesture is used to enhance mental clarity, wisdom, and concentration. It is frequently seen in depictions of sages and enlightened beings, reinforcing its role in awakening higher consciousness. Holding this mudra during meditation creates an immediate sense of calm and focus, allowing energy to circulate freely through the body. For those seeking to cultivate inner balance, Anjali Mudra, commonly known as the prayer position, brings both hands together at the heart center. This mudra harmonizes both hemispheres of the brain, aligns the energy within the body, and promotes a sense of peace and unity. It is not merely an expression of gratitude or devotion. It is a direct method of centering one's energy. Another potent mudra is Prana Mudra, where the tip of the thumb touches the ring and little fingers, while the index and middle fingers remain extended. This gesture is known to activate dormant energy, increase vitality, and strengthen the immune system. It is often used in breathwork practices to amplify the movement of life force within the body, bringing an immediate sense of rejuvenation. These hand positions are more than ancient rituals. They are keys to unlocking energy flow, balancing the mind, and elevating consciousness. Just as the body responds to movement and breath, it also responds to these subtle yet powerful hand gestures. The more one practices, the more sensitive they become to the shifts in energy they create. Over time, the hands themselves become an extension of intention, capable of shaping energy in ways most people have never imagined. Energy is not just something you cultivate through breath, movement, or meditation. It is also something you consume. Every bite of food, every sip of water, every substance that enters your body carries its own frequency, either enhancing your energy flow or diminishing it. The ancients understood this well. They saw the body as more than just a biological system. They saw it as a living energy field, constantly absorbing and processing the vibrations of everything it interacts with. This is why diet has always been a key factor in spiritual and energy practices. What you eat does not just nourish the body, it shapes your energy. Some foods act as fuel for higher states of consciousness, increasing vitality, sharpening awareness, and making energy flow more effortlessly. Others weigh you down, creating stagnation, sluggishness, and blockages that disrupt the movement of chi, prana, or life force energy. The difference is not just physical, it is vibrational. Fresh, natural, high-frequency foods carry living energy. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are not just rich in nutrients. They are alive with the energy of the earth, the sun, and the elements. When consumed, they transfer that life force into the body, helping to keep energy pathways open and clear. In contrast, heavily processed, artificial, or chemically altered foods lack this vital energy. They may fill the stomach, but they do little to nourish the body's energetic field. Over time, consuming low vibrational foods weakens not only physical health, but also mental clarity and spiritual awareness. Water too plays a crucial role. In many ancient traditions, water was believed to be sacred, capable of holding and transmitting energy. Science now confirms this idea. Water molecules have been shown to change structure based on the energy they are exposed to. Pure, clean water hydrates not just the body, but the energy system, keeping the flow of chi or prana moving freely. But stagnant, contaminated, or chemically treated water can have the opposite effect, lowering vibrational frequency and dulling awareness. Fasting has also been used throughout history as a method of energy purification. In Taoist, yogic, and shamanic traditions, fasting was practiced not just for physical health, but for spiritual clarity. By temporarily reducing the body's need to digest, energy is redirected inward, cleansing stagnant pathways and allowing for deeper states of meditation and intuition. Those who practice fasting often report an increase in mental sharpness, energetic sensitivity, and overall vitality. The foods you consume are more than just fuel. They are frequencies that interact with your own. Every meal is a choice, a decision about the kind of energy you wish to embody. The body is a temple, an instrument, an energy system in constant motion. And just like a finely tuned instrument, what you put into it determines how well it resonates. To master energy, you must not only train your breath, your mind, and your movement, you must also nourish the very essence of your being. Sound is more than just something we hear. It is a force that moves through everything, shaping energy, shifting frequencies, and altering states of consciousness. The ancients understood this well. They knew that sound was not just a tool for communication, but a technology for transformation, capable of influencing the body, mind, and energetic field. Across cultures, from the chanting monks of Tibet to the Vedic sages of India, sound was used as a bridge between the physical and the unseen, a direct way to activate energy and bring the body into alignment with higher frequencies. Everything in existence vibrates, including you, your body, your thoughts, your emotions. All of them are frequencies moving through space. When a sound resonates at a certain frequency, it has the ability to shift the vibration of anything it comes into contact with. This is why music can instantly change a mood, why certain chants bring about a meditative state, and why ancient healing traditions relied on sound to clear energy blockages and restore balance. One of the most well-known methods of sound energy activation is the use of mantras. Sacred sounds or phrases that, when repeated, create vibrational patterns that align the mind and body with higher states of consciousness. The Sanskrit syllable Om is perhaps the most famous, believed to be the primordial sound of the universe, the frequency from which all creation emerged. Chanting it not only calms the nervous system, but also activates the pineal gland, deepens meditation, and harmonizes the body's energy field. Tibetan monks have used singing bowls for centuries, understanding that their deep, resonant tones do more than just create sound. They alter the energy of a space. The The vibrations emitted by these bowls are said to balance the brain's hemispheres, reduce stress, and shift consciousness into a more receptive state. When the bowls are played, their frequencies ripple through the body, breaking up stagnation and creating an energetic reset. Even modern science is beginning to validate what the ancients knew all along. Studies on solfeggio frequencies, specific tones believed to have profound effects on the human body, suggest that certain sound waves can repair DNA, stimulate healing, and shift brainwave states. The 528 Hz frequency, often called the miracle tone, is known for its ability to enhance cellular function and promote deep states of relaxation. Other frequencies, such as 432 Hz, are said to resonate more naturally with the body's energy field, creating a sense of harmony and well-being. Sound is not just heard, it is felt. It moves through the body, influencing the way energy flows, opening pathways, and dissolving blockages. When used with intention, it becomes a tool for awakening, healing, and transformation. Whether through mantras, Tibetan bowls, or specific vibrational frequencies, sound has the power to align you with your highest state of being. And once you understand how to use it, you will never experience sound the same way again. Energy is constantly in motion, flowing through you and around you, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and experiences. But just as the body accumulates dirt and toxins, your energy field can collect negativity from people, places, and situations. Unresolved emotions, stress, and even the energy of others can cling to you, creating stagnation, fatigue, and mental fog. Over time, this energetic buildup can weigh you down, leaving you feeling disconnected, drained, or even physically unwell. The ancients understood this, which is why energy cleansing was a fundamental part of their spiritual practices. Just as you clean your physical body, your energy field must also be purified to maintain balance, clarity, and strength. One of the oldest and most effective methods of cleansing energy is the use of smoke purification, commonly practiced with sage, palo santo, or other sacred herbs. This technique, often referred to as smudging, has been used by indigenous cultures for centuries. When burned, these plants release properties that help neutralize dense or stagnant energy. As the smoke moves through the air, it carries away energetic debris, making space for clarity, renewal, and peace. To perform this ritual, simply light the herb, allow it to smolder, and move it around your body or space with the intention of releasing anything that no longer serves you. The key is not just the physical act, but the awareness and intention behind it, directing the energy away and calling in fresh, vibrant frequencies. Salt is another powerful tool for energy cleansing, used in traditions across the world to absorb negativity and create protective barriers. Ancient cultures believed that salt had the ability to break up lower vibrations and purify the aura. A simple method is to take a salt bath, allowing the minerals to pull out energetic toxins from the body. Adding sea salt, Himalayan salt, or Epsom salt to water can restore energetic flow, release emotional heaviness, and recharge your system. Even placing bowls of salt in different corners of a room can help absorb stagnant energy, preventing it from accumulating in your space. Water itself has long been associated with purification, not just physically, but energetically. Flowing water is believed to carry away negativity, which is why standing under a waterfall, bathing in the ocean, or even simply washing your hands with intention can create an immediate shift in energy. Ritual baths infused with herbs, essential oils, or flower petals have been used for centuries in spiritual traditions to reset the aura and restore inner harmony. Even something as simple as visualizing water cleansing your energy while you shower can create a profound shift in how you feel. Cleansing your energy is not just about removing negativity. It is about maintaining clarity and alignment. Just as a cluttered space affects the mind, an unclean energy field disrupts your ability to focus, manifest, and move freely through life. The more often you cleanse, the more sensitive you become to subtle shifts, making it easier to protect yourself from external influences and maintain a high vibrational state. Energy purification is not just a practice. It is a form of energetic self-care, a way of keeping your field open, clear, and in harmony with your higher self. Sleep is not just a time for rest. It is a gateway to deeper states of awareness, a time when the body regenerates, the mind processes, and the spirit reconnects with realms beyond the physical. In the modern world, sleep is often seen as a passive state, something necessary for survival, but rarely understood for its deeper potential. Yet, in ancient traditions, sleep was considered a powerful tool for energy recharging, healing, and even manifestation. It was believed that during sleep, the body naturally resets its energetic field, releasing built-up tension and absorbing new life force from the surrounding environment. But beyond this, the dream state was seen as an opportunity to tap into astral energy, receive guidance, and actively shape reality. Throughout history, mystics and spiritual practitioners have used sleep as a form of conscious energy work. In some traditions, sleeping positions were deliberately chosen to align the body with natural energy flows. Ancient Egyptian initiates practiced dream incubation, a technique in which they entered sleep with a focused intention, often seeking divine knowledge or healing. Tibetan monks developed dream yoga, a method of using the dream state to access higher dimensions of consciousness. Even in Western esoteric traditions, dreams were seen as a bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind, a place where energy could be shifted, visions could be received, and manifestation could be amplified. One of the most overlooked aspects of sleep is its role in astral energy recharging. During deep sleep, the body naturally enters a state where energy flows are restored, chakras realign, and cellular regeneration takes place. The more restful the sleep, the more effectively the body is able to absorb and distribute energy. But when sleep is disrupted, shallow, or filled with stress-induced thoughts, this process is weakened. This is why some people wake up feeling more exhausted than before they slept, because their energy field never fully replenished. Beyond simple restoration, sleep also offers a powerful opportunity for conscious manifestation. The moments before sleep are particularly potent because the brain shifts into theta and delta states, the same frequencies used in deep meditation and hypnosis. This is when the subconscious is most open to suggestion, making it the ideal time to plant intentions, visualize desires, and energetically align with future outcomes. Many spiritual teachers recommend using this window to repeat affirmations, visualize specific goals, or even imagine waking up already living the reality you desire. The subconscious mind absorbs these impressions, and as you sleep, your energy field adjusts to match the frequency of what you seek. Dreams themselves can also be used as tools for energy work and guidance. In lucid dreaming, where awareness is maintained within the dream state, practitioners can direct their energy, explore non-physical dimensions, and even interact with energetic beings. Some use dreams to seek answers, communicate with higher aspects of themselves, or work through unresolved emotional patterns. Whether conscious or unconscious, the dream world is an extension of the energetic body, a place where energy flows more freely, unrestricted by physical limitations. Sleep is not just an escape from waking life. It is an essential part of energy mastery. The quality of sleep you experience directly impacts your vibration, your ability to manifest, and your overall state of being. By becoming more intentional with your sleep routine, practicing energy clearing before bed, and using the dream state as a tool for transformation, you can begin to harness the forgotten power of sleep, not just as a time of rest, but as a doorway to higher energy and deeper awareness. Energy is not meant to remain stagnant. It is meant to flow, circulate, and expand, moving through the body like a river, nourishing every cell, every organ, every thought. When energy flows freely, the body feels light, strong, and full of vitality. The mind is clear, focused, and intuitive. But when energy becomes blocked, stagnation sets in, manifesting as fatigue, stress, or even physical illness. The ancients knew this, and they developed techniques to keep their life force circulating, ensuring that it remained balanced and abundant. One of the most powerful of these techniques is the microcosmic orbit, an ancient Taoist practice designed to move energy through the body's two main energy channels, creating a continuous loop of power and harmony. The microcosmic orbit is a method of energy circulation, directing life force through the governing channel, which runs up the spine, and the conception channel, which flows down the front of the body. These two channels form the foundation of the body's energetic system, acting as the primary pathways through which qi moves. When the orbit is activated, energy cycles through these channels, clearing blockages, amplifying vitality, and expanding awareness. This practice was not only used for physical health, but also for spiritual awakening, as circulating energy through the orbit raises one's frequency, aligning the body with higher states of consciousness. To begin, sit comfortably with your spine straight, feet flat on the ground, and hands resting on your lap. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax. Bring your attention to the lower dantian, the energy center just below the navel. This is where qi is gathered and stored, the starting point of the orbit. As you inhale, visualize energy rising from the lower dantian, traveling up the spine, moving through each vertebra, reaching the base of the skull. As you exhale, imagine the energy flowing over the crown of the head, then descending down the front of the body, passing through the throat, the chest, and returning to the lower dantian. With each breath, the energy moves more smoothly, circulating like a glowing current of light. At first, the flow may feel subtle, but with practice, it becomes stronger, more tangible. Some people experience warmth, tingling, or even a pulsing sensation as energy clears its path. The longer you practice, the more powerful the circulation becomes, opening energy centers, dissolving blockages, and restoring the body's natural rhythm. The microcosmic orbit is more than just a technique. It is a gateway to higher energy control. It trains the body to store and circulate life force efficiently, preventing unnecessary energy loss and strengthening internal reserves. Taoist masters believed that those who mastered this technique could extend their lifespan, enhance their mental abilities, and even achieve spiritual enlightenment. The energy that once flowed aimlessly through the body is now directed with purpose, fueling creativity, intuition, and inner strength. The more you circulate energy, the more sensitive you become to its movement, the more aware you are of its power. Over time, you no longer just feel energy. You begin to command it, shaping it, guiding it, and using it as a force of transformation in every aspect of life. Deep within you lies a force so powerful, so transformative, that for centuries it was considered too dangerous for the average person to awaken. The ancients knew of this energy. They revered it, feared it, and guarded its secrets, passing them only to those who had proven themselves worthy. This force is Kundalini, often depicted as a serpent coiled at the base of the spine, waiting to rise, waiting to be awakened. Kundalini is not just an idea or a metaphor. It is a real, tangible energy, a dormant power that, when activated, surges through the spine, unlocking heightened states of awareness, expanding consciousness, and restructuring the very way you perceive reality. It is the energy of transformation, the force that fuels enlightenment, but it is not something to be taken lightly. Many traditions warned against awakening Kundalini too soon, or without proper preparation. Without balance, without control, the raw power of this energy could be overwhelming, shaking the very foundation of one's mental, emotional, and physical being. In ancient texts, the process of Kundalini awakening was described with both awe and caution. When activated, this energy travels upward through the chakras, piercing each energy center as it ascends. It brings heightened awareness, profound insight, and even supernatural abilities, but it also forces deep purification. Suppressed emotions rise to the surface, unresolved fears must be faced, and the ego is stripped away, leaving only raw truth. This is why Kundalini has been referred to as a fire, a serpent, a lightning bolt. It burns away illusion, reshaping the individual into something entirely new. The process of awakening Kundalini is different for everyone. For some, it is gradual, unfolding over years of meditation, breathwork, and disciplined practice. For others, it happens suddenly, triggered by deep trauma, intense spiritual work, or even by accident. The experience itself varies. Some describe waves of bliss and ecstasy, a feeling of expansion beyond the body, an overwhelming sense of connection to the universe. Others report intense heat, spontaneous movements, visions, and even temporary states of disorientation as their energy system adjusts to the new frequency. Many spiritual traditions kept this knowledge hidden, believing that only those who were truly ready should attempt to awaken Kundalini. The uncontrolled release of this energy was thought to be dangerous, potentially leading to mental instability or physical distress if not properly channeled. This is why traditional yogic systems place such emphasis on preparation, cleansing the body, strengthening the nervous system, and purifying the mind before even attempting to raise this force. Kundalini was not something to be rushed. It was something to be earned. Yet, despite its challenges, those who successfully awaken Kundalini often describe it as the most profound experience of their lives. It brings a sense of purpose, an awareness of deeper realities, and a connection to the divine that cannot be put into words. The energy that once lay dormant, hidden beneath layers of conditioning and limitation, is now alive, flowing, illuminating the path forward. And once awakened, it never truly sleeps again. Energy does not simply move at random. It follows intention, responds to focus, and takes shape according to the thoughts and emotions that direct it. Those who understand this principle do not allow their energy to drift aimlessly. They program it, shaping it with precision to create the reality they desire. This is the foundation of all manifestation, all energy work, all transformation. Energy is neutral. It does not judge. It does not resist. It simply takes form according to the frequency you impress upon it. The key to programming energy lies in visualization and emotional charge. Visualization acts as the blueprint, the image that tells energy where to go, what to become. But visualization alone is not enough. It must be infused with feeling. Emotion is the fuel, the force that amplifies energy and locks it into place. This is why fleeting thoughts do not create reality. Only those charged with true belief, desire, or certainty hold enough power to shape the energetic field. When an athlete envisions themselves winning a race, they are not simply picturing the finish line. They are feeling the rush of adrenaline, the pounding of their heart, the triumph in their body. When a musician imagines performing on stage, they do not just see the crowd. They hear the applause, feel the warmth of the lights, sense the energy of the audience. The more vivid, immersive, and emotionally intense the visualization, the more powerfully energy is programmed to align with it. This technique has been used for centuries, hidden within spiritual traditions, mystical teachings, and even modern science. Ancient magicians used visualization in their rituals, knowing that what they held in their mind's eye would manifest in the physical world. Yogis and monks practice focused meditation, directing their energy toward healing, enlightenment, or transformation. Even quantum physics now suggests that observation influences reality, that consciousness itself collapses probability into form. The mind does not just passively perceive the world, it actively shapes it. To program energy with intention, begin with clarity. The more defined the vision, the more energy has a path to follow. Close your eyes and bring to mind what you wish to create. Do not see it as something distant, something yet to come. See it as already real. Feel it as if it is happening now. If it is success, feel the confidence, the certainty, the deep knowing that it is yours. If it is healing, feel the warmth, the relief, the vitality coursing through you. Every sensation, every emotion must be as real as if you were living it in this very moment. As you hold the vision, breathe deeply, drawing energy into the image, strengthening its presence. With each inhale, imagine the energy expanding, charging with life. With each exhale, see it solidifying, grounding into reality. The more often this is practiced, the stronger the imprint becomes. Over time, the external world begins to shift, aligning itself to match the energetic reality already created. The mind is not separate from energy. It is the architect that programs it, directs it, and calls it into form. The question is not whether energy will follow your intention. It always does. The real question is, what are you programming it to create? Beyond the physical world, beyond the limitations of the body, there exists a vast field of energy, a realm where thought moves instantly, where time and space bend, where consciousness is no longer confined. This is the astral plane, an energetic dimension that has been explored for centuries by mystics, shamans, and spiritual seekers. Unlike the dense physical world, the astral realm is fluid, shifting, responsive. It is a space where energy flows unrestrained, where reality is shaped by thought alone. Astral energy is different from the energy that moves through the physical body. While chi, prana, and life force sustain the body's vitality, astral energy governs awareness beyond the physical. It is the energy that allows the mind to expand, to separate from the body, to travel beyond the limitations of material existence. Those who learn to access it can move through dimensions, receive insights from higher planes, and interact with non-physical beings. It is a force that connects the seen and the unseen, a bridge between waking life and the hidden layers of reality. One of the most direct ways to tap into astral energy is through astral projection, the practice of consciously leaving the body to explore the non-physical realms. For most people, this happens unknowingly in dreams. When the body sleeps, consciousness naturally drifts into the astral. But with practice, this process can be controlled, allowing full awareness while traveling beyond the body. The key is deep relaxation, heightened awareness, and a shift in perception. A common method begins with lying down, eyes closed, body completely still. The goal is to bring the body into a sleep-like state while keeping the mind awake. This requires focus, breathing deeply, allowing the body to sink into stillness while maintaining awareness of the rising sensation of energy. At first, subtle shifts may be felt, a buzzing, a tingling, or a feeling of lightness, as if the body is beginning to separate. These are signs that the astral body is loosening, preparing to detach. The moment of separation is often accompanied by a sensation of floating, lifting, or even rolling out of the body. The mistake many make is reacting too quickly, feeling excitement or fear, which instantly pulls them back into the physical form. The key is to remain calm, focused, detached. By directing awareness outward, imagining movement, or visualizing drifting upward, the energy body fully separates, allowing complete immersion into the astral plane. Once in this state, movement is effortless. The physical world fades, replaced by an environment that is both familiar and surreal. Some experience floating through their surroundings. Others find themselves in landscapes shaped by thought. Time behaves differently here. Moments can stretch endlessly, or entire experiences can happen in seconds. The more one practices, the more stable the experience becomes. Astral energy is not just about projection. It is the key to higher perception, to accessing wisdom beyond the limitations of the physical senses. The ability to harness this energy brings expanded awareness, deeper intuition, and a connection to forces that exist beyond ordinary reality. For those who seek to go beyond the physical, to explore the hidden dimensions of existence, learning to access and direct astral energy is not just a skill, it is a doorway to an entirely new way of experiencing reality. Energy is the foundation of all life, flowing through every cell, every thought, every breath. When this energy is strong and balanced, the body thrives, the mind is clear, and emotions remain steady. But when energy becomes blocked, stagnant, or depleted, imbalance sets in. Illness, fatigue, and emotional distress are not just physical conditions. They are signs that energy is not flowing as it should. This is why ancient healing traditions did not rely solely on medicine or physical treatment. They understood that to truly heal, one must go beyond the body and work with the energy that sustains it. For centuries, healers across cultures have used energy to restore balance, remove blockages, and accelerate healing. In the East, the practice of Reiki emerged, a technique that channels universal life force to clear disruptions in the energy field. In China, Qi healing was developed, using intention and breath to move stagnant Qi. In the West, modern science has begun to explore quantum healing, recognizing that energy is not bound by space or time, that healing can happen across distances beyond physical limitations. At the core of energy healing is intention and focus. The mind does not simply observe reality, it influences it. When energy is directed with clarity and purpose, it responds. A healer does not force the body to heal. They simply remove the obstacles that prevent it from doing so naturally. The body is designed to regenerate, to repair itself. But stress, trauma, and negative thought patterns interfere with this process. Energy healing clears the interference, allowing the body to return to its natural state of balance. One of the simplest but most effective techniques is hand energy healing. Begin by rubbing your hands together, feeling the warmth build between them. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and focus on your palms. Slowly pull them apart, sensing the subtle magnetic field between them. This is your own life force, activated and ready to be directed. Now, place your hands over the area of the body that needs healing, whether it's a physical pain or an emotional wound. Imagine energy flowing from your palms into that space, filling it with warmth, light, and renewal. Visualize the cells regenerating, the tension dissolving, the imbalance correcting itself. The mind gives the command, and energy follows. For deeper healing, Reiki practitioners use specific symbols and techniques to channel life force energy more effectively. They do not push energy, they allow it to flow, guided by higher intelligence. In quantum healing, the focus is not just on the body, but on shifting the entire vibrational state of the person receiving the healing. The body is not healed in isolation. It is healed through a shift in consciousness, through alignment with a reality where health already exists. Energy healing is not magic, nor is it a placebo. It is the recognition that everything, health, illness, pain, vitality, is first an energetic pattern before it becomes a physical condition. When you learn to direct energy with awareness, you do not just heal yourself. You unlock the power to transform reality itself. Energy is not random. It follows patterns, structures, and blueprints that have existed since the beginning of time. Across ancient civilizations, from Egypt to India, from Greece to the Far East, sacred geometry was understood as the language of creation, the hidden architecture behind energy flow, manifestation, and balance. These geometric patterns were not just symbols. They were functional tools, designed to amplify, direct, and stabilize energy in ways modern science is only beginning to grasp. The ancients observed that nature itself was built upon geometric harmony. The spirals of galaxies, the arrangement of leaves, the proportions of the human body, all followed precise mathematical ratios, most notably the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence. These were not coincidences. They were evidence of an underlying structure, a universal blueprint that governed both the physical and the energetic world. Understanding these patterns meant understanding how to align with the natural flow of energy, rather than working against it. Temples, pyramids, and sacred sites were constructed using these principles, not for aesthetic beauty alone, but to amplify energy, enhance consciousness, and facilitate deep spiritual experiences. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built with dimensions that aligned with celestial bodies, designed to channel cosmic energy. Hindu and Buddhist mandalas were created as energetic maps, used in meditation to focus the mind and elevate spiritual awareness. Even the cathedrals of medieval Europe were built upon these sacred proportions, with towering spires and intricate rose windows acting as conduits for divine energy. But sacred geometry was not just applied to structures. It was also used for personal energy alignment. the Sri Yantra, an ancient geometric diagram used in Hindu and Tibetan traditions, was believed to represent the entire universe in its perfect balance. Meditating upon it was said to harmonize the mind, attuning the practitioner to the frequencies of creation itself. The flower of life, found in ancient carvings across multiple civilizations, was considered the fundamental pattern of existence, containing within it all possible geometric structures, including the Metatron's cube, which was seen as a key to unlocking energy movement and higher states of consciousness. On a more direct level, sacred geometry affects energy flow within the human body. The chakras themselves are often depicted as geometric shapes, spinning wheels of energy arranged in precise patterns along the spine. In Qigong and Taoist practices, the Bagua, an 8-sided geometric arrangement, is used to direct energy flow and create harmony between internal and external forces. When we engage with these geometric forms, whether by meditating on them, drawing them, or simply being in spaces built upon their principles, our own energy field begins to resonate with their frequency. They act as tuning forks, bringing us into alignment with the natural order, clearing blockages, and amplifying our ability to manifest and direct energy with greater precision. Sacred geometry is not just ancient symbolism. It is a direct blueprint for understanding and shaping the energy around us. Those who learn to work with these patterns begin to see reality differently. They recognize the hidden order within chaos, the structure beneath the flow, and the profound way in which energy, when properly aligned, can transform not just the self, but the world itself. Energy is not limited to the body. It moves through everything: objects, symbols, spaces, all carrying the vibrations imprinted upon them. Just as energy can be directed through thought and intention, it can also be stored, held within physical objects, and programmed for specific purposes. The ancients understood this well. They knew that certain symbols, drawn with precision and charged with focused intent, could act as anchors for energy, amplifiers of will, and tools for manifestation. Sigil magic is one of the most powerful ways to encode energy into a physical form. A sigil is not just a symbol. It is a compressed thought, a focused intention, a key that unlocks a specific frequency. By creating a sigil, you are translating an abstract desire into a tangible form, something that the subconscious mind and the energetic field can recognize and respond to. The process is simple, but deeply effective. The first step is to define the intention clearly. The more specific, the more powerful. Instead of saying, "I want abundance," shift to, "I effortlessly attract financial opportunities that align with my highest good." Once the intention is set, it is condensed into a symbol, letters rearranged, shapes intertwined, forming a new design that no longer resembles the original words, but instead holds their energy in a coded form. But a sigil, by itself, is just a drawing. It must be charged, infused with energy to activate its potential. This can be done in several ways. One method is through fire, where the sigil is burned, its energy released into the universe. Another is breath activation, where deep inhalations charge the symbol, and a final exhale sends the energy outward. Some practitioners use meditation, focusing their intent into the sigil until it vibrates with energy, or sexual energy transmutation, harnessing the powerful life force at its peak and directing it into the symbol. Beyond sigils, objects such as talismans and amulets have long been used to hold energy, acting as protective barriers, attractors of luck, or enhancers of personal power. A simple stone, when properly charged, can become a guardian of energy, shielding its owner from negativity. A ring, a necklace, even a handwritten note. Any object can be programmed with energy through focused intention, visualization, and repetitive reinforcement. Charging an object follows a similar principle to sigil activation. Holding the item in both hands, breathing energy into it, visualizing it glowing with power, feeling the intention merging with the object. Some choose to leave the object under the sun or moonlight, allowing cosmic energy to amplify its charge. Others use sound, chanting specific vibrations over the object to attune it to a desired frequency. These techniques are not just rituals, they are ways of bridging thought and matter, will and reality. Every object carries energy, but those who understand how to imprint and program it gain access to a deeper level of creation. This is the forgotten science of charging reality itself with intention, shaping the unseen forces to work in alignment with personal will. What was once passive now becomes active. What was once ordinary now holds power. And those who master this practice begin to see that energy is not just something to be directed. It is something that can be held, shaped, and made real. Energy is the foundation of creation, and among the most potent forces within the human body is sexual energy, a raw, untapped reservoir of life force that has the power to heal, transform, and manifest. In modern society, this energy is often misunderstood, reduced to physical desire, or wasted through unconscious habits. But the ancients knew the truth. Sexual energy is not just for pleasure. It is fuel for higher states of being, a force that, when properly harnessed, can unlock immense creativity, vitality, and spiritual awakening. Taoist and Tantric traditions recognize that sexual energy was not meant to be expelled mindlessly, but rather cultivated, refined, and redirected for greater purpose. In Taoist alchemy, this energy was called Jing, the essence of life itself, which could be transformed into Qi and then into Shen, the energy of enlightenment. In Tantra, sexual energy was viewed as sacred fire, capable of awakening Kundalini and expanding consciousness. Both systems taught that through awareness and discipline, this energy could be transmuted, redirected from lower physical desires into higher creative and spiritual expressions. The process begins with awareness. Instead of allowing energy to dissipate, it is circulated through the body, recycled rather than released. One of the most fundamental techniques in Taoist practice is the microcosmic orbit, where energy is drawn up the spine, through the crown, and back down the front of the body. With each inhale, the energy rises, moving through the major energy centers. With each exhale, it flows downward, nourishing the organs, strengthening the mind, deepening inner balance. Over time, this practice rewires the body's natural energy pathways, allowing sexual energy to be stored rather than lost. Breath control plays a crucial role. In both Taoist and Tantric traditions, deep rhythmic breathing helps distribute energy throughout the body, preventing it from becoming stagnant or overwhelming. A powerful technique is the fire breath, where short, controlled breaths build energy in the lower dantian before being consciously guided upward. This creates a surge of vitality, often felt as warmth, tingling, or even waves of bliss spreading through the body. This is not suppression, it is mastery. Instead of rejecting desire, the energy is embraced, elevated, and used as a source of strength. Beyond physical techniques, intention is key. Energy moves where focus goes, and when sexual energy is directed toward a goal, whether it be enhanced creativity, heightened intuition, or even manifestation, it amplifies results. Many ancient rulers, artists, and thinkers used this practice unconsciously, experiencing surges of genius and deep insight during periods of celibacy or sexual discipline. The more refined the energy, the more powerful the manifestation. This is why sexual energy transmutation was considered sacred knowledge, passed down only to those deemed ready. It is not just about controlling urges. It is about unlocking the highest levels of personal power. Those who master this energy find themselves with more vitality, deeper clarity, and an ability to shape their reality with greater precision. It is a force unlike any other, and once harnessed, it becomes a source of limitless strength, fueling not just the body, but the mind and spirit as well. Deep within the brain lies a small, mysterious organ often referred to as the seat of the soul, the pineal gland. This tiny, pine cone-shaped structure has long been associated with heightened awareness, intuition, and the ability to perceive beyond the physical world. Ancient cultures knew of its power, depicting it in sacred art and architecture, embedding its symbolism in religious texts, and protecting its secrets within mystery schools. But over time, this knowledge was buried, distorted, and forgotten. The pineal gland is more than just a biological structure. It functions as an energy receptor, a bridge between the physical and the metaphysical, the connection point between the mind and higher states of consciousness. In many esoteric traditions, it is seen as the third eye, the gateway to deeper perception, responsible for visions, astral travel, and the ability to sense energy beyond the material world. When fully activated, it allows one to experience reality in a completely different way, beyond linear time, beyond the five senses, beyond the limitations of ordinary thought. But in modern times, the pineal gland is often inactive, dulled, or blocked. One of the greatest barriers to its function is calcification, a buildup of crystalline deposits that form around the gland, preventing it from functioning at full capacity. This calcification is largely due to environmental toxins, processed foods, chemical additives, and most notably, fluoride. Many have questioned why fluoride, a substance known to accumulate in the pineal gland, has been added to drinking water and dental products for decades. Whether intentional or not, this has contributed to a widespread numbing of higher perception, disconnecting people from their own inner guidance. But this can be reversed. The process of decalcification and activation is entirely possible through diet, detoxification, and energy practices. Avoiding fluoride, consuming high-frequency foods such as raw cacao, turmeric, and spirulina, and drinking purified water all help to cleanse the gland, restoring its ability to function. Practices like sun gazing at sunrise or sunset stimulate the pineal gland directly, while deep meditation, sound frequencies, and breathwork help to reawaken its latent abilities. One of the most effective ways to activate the pineal gland is through vibrational stimulation. Chanting mantras such as Om, or using specific solfeggio frequencies, particularly 936 Hz, creates a resonance that stimulates the gland, awakening dormant perception. Ancient Egyptians knew this, using sound and sacred geometry in their temples to enhance consciousness. Yogis practiced Shambhavi Mudra, a technique of gently focusing the eyes upward to activate the third eye. These were not superstitions, they were methods of expanding awareness. When the pineal gland is activated, perception shifts. The world no longer feels confined to physical form. Intuition strengthens. Dreams become vivid, carrying messages that once seemed inaccessible. Energy becomes easier to sense, and reality itself appears more fluid, more responsive to thought and intention. This is why the pineal gland has been both revered and suppressed. Those who awaken its power see beyond illusion, beyond conditioning, beyond limitation. And once opened, it does not close again. It becomes a permanent lens through which reality is experienced, not as something rigid, but as something deeply alive, something waiting to be shaped by those who have the eyes to see. Energy is not something you only cultivate in meditation or ritual. It is something that flows through every moment, every action, every movement. In the ancient world, movement was never just physical. It was a way to generate, direct, and refine energy, a conscious practice woven into daily life. And among the simplest yet most powerful ways to harness energy is something we do every day without thought: walking. To most, walking is just a means of getting from one place to another. But to those who understand energy, it is an opportunity for alignment, a practice in presence, a way to charge the body and clear the mind. Every step generates a rhythm. Every breath synchronizes with movement. And with the right awareness, walking becomes an energetic ritual, a method of channeling life force with intention. In Taoist and Buddhist traditions, walking meditation was practiced to maintain energy flow while moving through the world. The idea was simple. Instead of allowing energy to scatter, it is directed, cultivated, and refined with every step. Each movement becomes a way to circulate qi, to harmonize with nature, to bring awareness into the present moment. The ground beneath the feet is no longer just earth. It is an energetic field, constantly exchanging energy with the body. One of the most powerful ways to transform walking into an energy practice is by combining it with breathwork and visualization. As you walk, inhale deeply through the nose, feeling energy rising from the earth, moving up through the legs and into the core. As you exhale, imagine any stagnant or negative energy leaving the body, dispersing into the air. Each breath becomes a cycle of absorption and release, charging and clearing, expansion and grounding. Beyond breath, posture plays a crucial role. In martial arts and qigong, the way one carries the body determines how energy moves. Walking with a straight spine, relaxed shoulders, and an open chest allows energy to flow freely. The more relaxed the body, the more efficiently life force circulates. Those who walk hunched forward, heavy with thought, unknowingly block their energy, keeping it trapped in the upper body. But when movement is intentional, balanced, and aligned, the body itself becomes an energy conduit. Another layer to this practice is directional awareness. Different traditions recognize that walking in certain ways influenced energy flow. In some esoteric teachings, walking clockwise was associated with manifestation and energy expansion, while walking counterclockwise was linked to releasing and purification. Some practices involve tracing sacred geometric patterns while walking, enhancing focus and energetic alignment. But even without complex techniques, simply walking in nature is one of the most effective ways to reset the body's energy field. The earth emits a constant flow of grounding energy, and when walking barefoot or on natural surfaces, the body absorbs this frequency, discharging excess energy and restoring balance. Walking is not just movement, it is a practice, a meditation, a way to consciously work with energy in real time. The difference between an ordinary walk and an energy ritual is simply awareness. When you begin to see movement as more than physical, you unlock one of the simplest yet most profound ways to cultivate and direct energy in daily life. Throughout history, knowledge of energy, consciousness, and the unseen forces that shape reality has been carefully guarded. It was never meant to be lost, yet much of it has been deliberately hidden, altered, or dismissed as myth. The ability to control one's own energy, to shape reality through intention, to tap into unseen currents of power. These were not just spiritual ideas, but real, tangible abilities that those in power sought to control. In the ancient world, this knowledge was openly practiced. The Egyptians, the Greeks, the Taoists, the Vedic masters, they all understood the deeper mechanics of energy. They built temples aligned with celestial movements. They used sacred geometry to amplify energy fields. They worked with breath, sound, and movement to unlock higher states of being. But over time, as societies grew more centralized, those who ruled began to realize something. A population that understands energy is a population that cannot be easily controlled. Religious institutions, monarchies, and later political powers recognized that those who knew how to harness their own energy could not be easily manipulated. They did not need intermediaries to connect with the divine. They did not live in fear because they understood the power within them. They did not blindly follow because they could see beyond illusion. And so, piece by piece, this knowledge was stripped away, repackaged, or hidden entirely. In some cases, sacred practices were labeled as heretical or dangerous. Texts that spoke of energy manipulation, alchemy, and consciousness expansion were destroyed or locked away. Those who dared to speak of these truths were silenced, cast out, or worse. In other cases, the knowledge was not erased but distorted, diluted into symbols and rituals that lacked the original power behind them. What was once an advanced system for mastering energy became little more than superstition. Even in modern times, this suppression continues, though in more subtle ways. Science, once a path to uncovering truth, has often been steered away from exploring the true nature of consciousness and energy. Materialism dominates mainstream thought, reinforcing the idea that only what can be seen, measured, or quantified is real. The idea that energy, frequency, and intention shape reality is still dismissed in many circles, despite growing evidence from quantum physics, neurobiology, and bioenergetics. But the knowledge was never truly lost. It survived in secret, hidden in esoteric schools, embedded in ancient texts, passed down through oral traditions. It remained in symbols, in architecture, in teachings disguised as myth. And now, as more people awaken to the deeper nature of reality, this knowledge is resurfacing. The truth is, no external force can suppress what has always been within you. Energy is not something given or taken. It is something you are. And once you remember this, once you reclaim this understanding, no system, no institution, no external authority can ever take that power from you again. Because real power has never been about controlling others. Real power is about mastering yourself. Mastering energy is not about a single practice or occasional moments of awareness. It is a way of life. Energy is always moving, always shifting, always responding to the way you think, breathe, and act. Those who truly understand this do not leave their energy to chance. They cultivate it daily, refining their focus, aligning their body, and strengthening their internal power. A master does not wait for the right moment to train. They integrate energy work into everything they do. A powerful daily routine does not need to be complicated. In fact, the most effective energy practices are often the simplest. They are not just rituals but habits, small adjustments that, when repeated, transform the way energy flows through the body and mind. Morning is the foundation. The way you begin your day determines the frequency you carry into the hours that follow. before even stepping out of bed, take a moment to bring awareness to your breath. Deep, slow inhales, fully expanding the diaphragm. Long, controlled exhales, releasing tension. This simple act sets the nervous system into balance, ensuring that the day begins with clarity rather than chaos. Next comes grounding. Walking barefoot on natural surfaces, placing your hands on the earth, or simply standing outside for a few minutes aligns your energy with the planet's frequency. The Earth's energy field stabilizes your own, helping to clear static buildup and restore internal balance. Those who are ungrounded often feel scattered, easily influenced by external forces. But those who start their day with grounding move through life with stability, unaffected by distractions. Once the body is aligned, energy must be circulated. Breathwork and movement activate the internal flow, ensuring that chi or prana is not stuck or stagnant. A few rounds of deep belly breathing, alternating nostril breathing, or fire breath can charge the system with life force. Combined with movement, qigong, yoga, or simple stretching, this process opens energy channels, allowing power to flow freely throughout the body. Meditation follows, not just to quiet the mind, but to program energy with intention. Sitting in stillness, focusing awareness on the breath, the heart, or the third eye, allows for deeper perception of energy movement. This is the time to set intentions, visualizing desired outcomes, charging them with emotion, and imprinting them into the subconscious. Those who master this step find that their thoughts no longer drift aimlessly. Instead, they become precise, focused, and aligned with their highest vision. Throughout the day, awareness is key. Observing thoughts, emotions, and external influences ensures that energy is not drained or scattered. A master does not react to life, they direct it. If negative energy arises, it is acknowledged but not absorbed. If distractions pull at focus, they are realigned with breath. Small moments of awareness, feeling the sun on the skin, deepening the breath, straightening posture, reinforce a continuous state of energetic presence. At night, the cycle completes. Energy is cleansed before sleep, ensuring that nothing unwanted lingers in the field. A quick energy scan, a salt bath, or simply setting the intention to release tension prepares the body and mind for deep restoration. The day ends as it began, with awareness, with alignment, with mastery. This is not just a routine, it is a way of being, a path of refinement, a daily commitment to cultivating energy with precision. Those who follow it do not just move through life, they move with purpose, fully charged, fully present, fully in control of their own power. Energy is not just something you cultivate, it is something you must protect. Every day, you are surrounded by unseen forces, influences that shape your thoughts, emotions, and state of being. Some of these forces uplift and strengthen you. Others drain you, distort your perception, and pull you away from your true power. The world is filled with distractions, with energies that seek to keep you scattered, reactive, and unaware of your own potential. But those who understand energy know that protection is just as important as cultivation. It begins with awareness. Every interaction, every space, every thought carries a frequency. Some people radiate peace, inspiration, and clarity. Others unknowingly project fear, doubt, and negativity. And then there are external influences, media, technology, chaotic environments, designed to keep energy fragmented, to lower your vibration without you even realizing it. If you do not actively protect your energy, you become vulnerable to these forces, absorbing what is not yours, reacting instead of creating. One of the most powerful ways to guard your energy is energetic shielding. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine a field of light expanding around you, forming a protective barrier. Some see it as golden, others as white, blue, or violet. This field is not just imagination. It is an extension of your own energy, a frequency that repels what does not serve you. With practice, the shield becomes strong, a second skin that keeps you unaffected by external negativity. But shielding alone is not enough. You must also cleanse what has already entered. Energy lingers. Places hold imprints. Thoughts, emotions, even the energy of others can cling to your field if left unchecked. This is why energy purification is essential. Smudging with sage, bathing in salt water, listening to specific frequencies. These are not superstitions. They are tools. Methods used for centuries to clear unwanted energy and restore balance. Your breath, too, is a purifier. With every exhale, release stagnant energy. With every inhale, draw in light. A simple practice, but one that resets your entire field. Breath is your power. Breath is your weapon against unseen forces that seek to cloud your mind. Beyond cleansing and shielding, you must also be mindful of where your energy flows. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every battle is yours to fight. Protecting your energy is knowing when to engage and when to walk away. It is recognizing that not everything requires a reaction, that your focus is currency, and where you spend it shapes your reality. And then there is the greatest form of protection, mastery of self. The stronger your energy, the less it can be influenced. The more grounded you are, the harder it is to be shaken. External manipulation only works on those who are unaware, those who are easily swayed. But when you are centered, when you know who you are, when your energy is aligned with your highest frequency, nothing can touch you. This is the power of true energy protection. Not just avoiding negativity, not just shielding and cleansing, but standing in your own force, unshaken, unmoved, untouchable. A beacon of energy that radiates so strongly that external influences dissolve before they can ever reach you. For centuries, science and spirituality stood apart, one rooted in the tangible, the measurable, the other in the unseen, the intuitive. But now, something is shifting. The lines are blurring, the boundaries dissolving. What was once dismissed as mysticism is now being validated by science. And what was once confined to laboratories is now being understood as part of something far greater, a unified field, a web of energy connecting all things. Quantum physics has already revealed what the ancients knew all along. That reality is not solid, that particles respond to observation, that thought itself carries weight, shaping the very fabric of existence. Science now confirms that the body is not just flesh and bone. It is energy, constantly emitting, receiving, and interacting with the fields around it. The heart produces an electromagnetic field that extends far beyond the body. The brain operates at frequencies that can be altered, expanded, refined. What was once called chi, prana, life force, now has measurable effects, frequencies, patterns. And yet, this is only the beginning. The deeper we explore, the more we realize that the power we seek has always been within us. Technologies are emerging, devices that read energy fields, tools that manipulate frequency for healing, methods that enhance consciousness using sound, light, and vibration. We are only scratching the surface. What happens when we fully understand how energy moves? When we learn not just to sense it, but to control it with precision, with mastery? Imagine Imagine a world where disease is treated not just with medicine, but with frequency, where thoughts can be recorded, projected, transferred, where technology does not disconnect, but amplifies human potential. A world where manifestation is not mystical, but practical, an ability refined, trained, perfected. The future of energy mastery is not just about looking inward. It is about expanding outward into the very nature of reality itself. Ancient texts described beings who could heal with touch, who could move objects with thought, who could enter higher dimensions at will. These were once seen as myths, but what if they were simply people who had unlocked the full spectrum of human energy? What if the capabilities of the past are the possibilities of the future? We stand at the edge of something vast, a bridge between the wisdom of the ancients and the discoveries of tomorrow. A moment where the mystical becomes measurable, where science does not disprove spirituality, but proves its foundation. And those who understand this, those who prepare, will be the ones who shape the next era of human evolution. Energy is no longer just a concept. It is the key to what comes next. And the question is not whether humanity will wake up to this power. The question is, who will step forward first? Who will master it? Who will lead the way? The future belongs to those who choose to see beyond what is and into what is possible. Everything you have heard, everything you have learned, is more than just knowledge. It is a key to unlocking the deepest parts of yourself, a key to breaking free from limitation, from distraction, from the forces that keep you disconnected from your true power. Energy mastery is not a theory. It is not a distant idea reserved for mystics or monks hidden away in the mountains. It is real. It is here. It is yours. The ancients understood this. They knew that energy was not something outside of them. It was something they could cultivate, direct, command. They saw the universe as a living force, and they knew how to align themselves with it. But somewhere along the way, that knowledge was lost. Not because it disappeared, but because humanity was made to forget, conditioned to ignore the power within, taught to seek answers outside, to believe that energy is something beyond reach, something mystical, something reserved for a chosen few. But now, you know the truth. The power was never lost. It was never taken. It was always within you, waiting, ready. You have seen how energy moves, how it flows through breath, through thought, through movement, how it can be shaped, programmed, amplified, how it responds not just to intention, but to mastery. You have learned the techniques that were once hidden, the methods that were once guarded, the practices that can change the way you experience reality itself. But knowledge alone is not enough. It is action that makes the difference. Energy does not shift by accident. It shifts when you choose. It transforms when you decide to stop living unconsciously, when you stop waiting for something external to change, and instead begin to change from within. So ask yourself, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it remain a concept, a passing thought? Or will you take the next step? Will you begin to apply it, to experiment, to refine, to feel energy moving through you, shaping your world in ways you never imagined? Because that is the path of mastery. Not reading, not hoping, doing, practicing, tuning into energy with each breath, each step, each intention, watching as the external world bends to match the internal. You are the keeper of your own energy, no one else. Not the world around you, not the people you meet, not the systems that seek to control your focus. You decide where your energy flows. You decide what frequency you hold. You decide whether you remain asleep or whether you wake up to the full spectrum of your power. And when you do, everything changes. This is just the beginning. The ancients knew this secret. Now, it's your turn to reclaim it. Subscribe, share, comment below. What energy technique are you excited to try? Let's continue this journey together, because the path to energy mastery is not just for the few. It is for those who are ready. And if you are here, then you are ready. Thanks for watching. What if I told you that nothing around you is truly solid? Not the chair you're sitting on, not the screen you're staring at, not even you, because the truth is, everything is vibration. For centuries, mystics, philosophers, and visionaries spoke of a hidden force, an unseen rhythm woven into the fabric of reality, a law so powerful, it shapes not just the world around you, but the very thoughts in your mind. They called it the law of vibration. The Egyptians carved it into stone. The Hindus whispered it through sacred sound. And today, science is proving what the ancients always knew. What if I told you that right now, the frequency you emit is sculpting your reality, that your emotions, your beliefs, even your destiny are all vibrating at a frequency you can control? Because once you understand this law, nothing will ever look the same again. Let's begin. What if the entire universe is vibrating, and so are you? Everything you see, everything you touch, even the thoughts running through your mind, none of it is truly still. Not for a single moment. The chair you're sitting on, the air around you, the very atoms that make up your body, each one is in constant, ceaseless motion. Ancient mystics knew this long before science confirmed it. In the Kybalion, a sacred Hermetic text, one principle was revealed, a truth so profound that it would later be echoed by physicists, philosophers, and spiritual seekers alike. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This is the law of vibration, the third of the 7 Hermetic principles, a hidden key to understanding not just the physical world, but the very fabric of reality itself. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You place your hand on a solid table, feeling its sturdy surface beneath your fingers. But in reality, that table is not solid at all. If you could shrink down to the scale of atoms, you'd see a vast emptiness, particles spinning, vibrating, oscillating at unimaginable speeds. The same goes for your body, your bones, your skin, even your heartbeat. Each one a unique frequency, a signature vibration that makes you, you. The ancients understood this. To them, vibration was the bridge between the physical and the unseen, the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence. In ancient Egypt, the priests of Thoth taught that the cosmos was held together by a rhythmic, harmonic force, an energy that could be harnessed through sound, intention, and will. The Hindus called it Nada Brahma, meaning the world is sound. The Vedic sages believed that all of creation began with a single vibration, Om, the primal resonance that still echoes through the universe. But this isn't just spiritual philosophy. Modern science, too, has begun to uncover what the ancients always knew. Quantum mechanics tells us that everything, matter, light, even empty space, is made of vibrating energy. String theory proposes that at the smallest, most fundamental level, reality itself is woven from tiny, vibrating strings of energy, oscillating at different frequencies to create everything we see and experience. And then, there's thought. What if your thoughts are not just ideas floating in your head, but vibrational frequencies broadcasting out into the world? Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain produces measurable electromagnetic waves, that your emotions, your beliefs, even your deepest fears, all have their own unique energetic signature. What you think, what you feel, sends out a frequency, one that interacts with the world around you, shaping your reality in ways you may not even realize. This is why the law of vibration is so powerful. It is the hidden force behind all manifestation, all attraction, all creation. It is the reason certain places, people, or ideas seem to resonate with you instantly, because they match your frequency. It's not magic, it's not coincidence, it's physics. Everything is vibration. And once you understand that, you'll begin to see reality in an entirely new way. But where did this knowledge come from? How did the ancients discover what science is only beginning to confirm? To answer that, we must go back, deep into the past, to the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus and the hidden wisdom of the Hermetic tradition. Before science, before religion, before the rise of modern civilization, there was a voice, a single name whispered across centuries, a man, a myth, or perhaps something more. Hermes Trismegistus. To some, he was the Egyptian god Thoth, scribe of the gods and keeper of divine knowledge. To others, he was Hermes, the Greek messenger who moved freely between the heavens and the underworld. But in the Hermetic tradition, he was both, a fusion of wisdom and power, of science and spirit. He was known as thrice great, for he had mastered the three great disciplines, alchemy, astrology, and theurgy, and from him came one of the most mysterious and enduring texts ever written, the Emerald Tablet. As above, so below, as within, so without. These words weren't just poetic metaphors. They were a code, a vibrational blueprint of how reality mirrors itself, across planes, across dimensions. The Hermetic teachings revealed a universe held together not by chaos, but by order, an unseen harmony, and at the center of that harmony was vibration. According to Hermetic wisdom, vibration is the bridge, the link between the seen and the unseen, between mind and matter, form and spirit, the mortal and the divine. Nothing is still, nothing is dead, everything is moving, everything is alive. In this ancient worldview, the entire cosmos was a living organism, humming with intention. The stars, the elements, even human thought, all pulsing with unique frequencies. To the Hermeticists, this wasn't metaphor, it was law. The law of vibration, placed third among the 7 Hermetic principles, was considered a foundational truth, one that could unlock the deeper workings of alchemy, manifestation, even magic. For if everything is vibration, then by altering frequency, one could alter reality itself. This is why the early mystery schools guarded these teachings with their lives. They believed that true power did not come from weapons or wealth, but from the mastery of vibration. Through ritual, through chanting, through geometry and sound, they sought to tune themselves to the divine rhythm of the universe. They believed that those who could match the vibration of a thing could become one with it, and that by aligning with higher frequencies, the soul could ascend, not just metaphorically, but literally, to higher planes of existence. These weren't just spiritual beliefs. They were technologies of consciousness. Long before modern science caught up, Hermes Trismegistus described reality not as fixed, but as flowing, not as made of matter, but as made of mind, energy, and frequency. And he wasn't alone. The ancient Egyptians spoke of Ma'at, the principle of cosmic harmony. The Greeks spoke of Logos, the divine order vibrating through all things. The Hindus spoke of Spanda, the subtle trembling that gives rise to form. All different names, all pointing to the same secret. That behind every moment, behind every thought, behind every form you can see, touch, or imagine, there is vibration. And those who understand its patterns can reshape their reality from the inside out. So where did this knowledge go? Why was it hidden, forgotten, or worse, suppressed? To understand that, we must journey further into the sacred sounds of the ancients and discover how civilizations across the world used vibration as a tool to reach the divine. Long before microphones, machines, or modern instruments, sound was considered sacred. It wasn't just something to be heard. It was something to be felt, to chanted, to invoked, to used as a key. Across ancient cultures, separated by oceans, languages, and millennia, one truth echoed through temples, mountaintops, and sacred circles. Sound is creation. In the ancient Vedic texts of India, there is a single syllable said to contain the entire cosmos. Om. Not just a sound, but a vibration, a frequency, a portal. Om was believed to be the first sound of existence, the moment the universe exhaled itself into being. It is the vibration from which all matter, time, and energy arose. Not a word, not a name, but the resonance of consciousness itself. When ancient sages meditated on Om, they weren't just seeking peace. They were tuning themselves to the source of all things. According to the Mandukya Upanishad, one of the oldest and most revered texts in Indian philosophy, Om is the sound behind waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and beyond. It is the eternal vibration behind all states of consciousness. And even today, when Om is chanted with intention, something stirs. The air thickens, the body resonates, the mind slows, because you're not just making a sound, you're aligning your inner frequency with that of the universe. But India wasn't the only place where sacred sound shaped spiritual life. In China, ancient Taoists spoke of Qi, the vital life force that flows through all living beings. Qi wasn't just energy, it was vibration. It moved in spirals, waves, and pulses, just like sound. And Taoist masters developed entire systems of breath, movement, and vocal vibration to harmonize with it. Practices like Qigong used tonal breathing, healing sounds, to balance organs and energy centers. Each sound corresponded to an element, an emotion, a frequency. The idea was simple, but powerful. Sound could heal. Across the Pacific, Native American and indigenous cultures also understood this deeply. Drums weren't just instruments, they were living beings. The beat of the drum mirrored the heartbeat of the earth. The rhythm wasn't entertainment, it was medicine. Chants, rattles, flutes, all carried specific vibrations. They were used in ceremony to call in spirits, to release grief, to guide the soul through visions. Every sound had intention, Every frequency had purpose. And the reason these practices were so universal is because they weren't based on belief. They were based on resonance. The human body, made of water, minerals, and electric current, naturally responds to sound. It absorbs it, reflects it, becomes it. Modern science now confirms what the ancients knew intuitively, that sound waves can influence brain states, that low-frequency sound can reduce inflammation, that certain frequencies can stimulate healing, enhance mood, and activate intuition. Sacred sound was never superstition. It was a technology of the soul. From Om to Ki, from chants to drums, ancient traditions understood something we're only beginning to reclaim. That sound is not just a vibration we hear. It is the language of the universe, and when used with intention, it becomes a bridge between the human and the divine, between the seen and the unseen, between who we are and who we're becoming. So the question is no longer whether sound carries power. The question is, are you listening? There is a rhythm beneath all things, a quiet, invisible symphony that plays through the stars, through the wind, through your very heartbeat. You may not hear it with your ears, but you feel it. In the spaces between silence, in the pulse of emotion, in the way certain places hum with energy, and others feel heavy or still. The truth is, stillness is an illusion. Everything moves, everything dances. Even the smallest particle in the universe, the tiniest flicker of matter, is in motion, vibrating, oscillating, pulsing with life. This wasn't just a poetic idea for the ancients, it was truth. The earliest civilizations weren't primitive. They were attuned. They watched the stars not just to tell time, but to feel harmony. They built temples, pyramids, and sacred sites aligned not only to the heavens, but to frequencies. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, isn't just a monument of stone. Its internal chambers resonate with specific acoustics, mathematical harmonies embedded into its structure. The ancient builders weren't only architects, they were vibrational engineers. In the mystery schools of Egypt, Greece, and beyond, initiates were taught that reality could be shaped, not by force, but by frequency. They believed the universe was not made of things, but of tones. Each thought, each emotion, each word, a note in the great composition of creation. And if you mastered the notes, you could master the music. These schools were hidden, secret, often guarded by oaths and symbols because their teachings carried power. Power that could awaken the spirit or destroy the ego. The Pythagoreans in ancient Greece, for example, believed that mathematics and music were not separate. Pythagoras taught that everything in the cosmos was governed by number, and that number expressed itself through sound. He referred to the music of the spheres, the idea that the planets themselves emitted a form of sacred harmony as they moved through space. Not noise, but vibration, the frequency of order, of balance, of universal intelligence. Even in early Christian and Gnostic traditions, this idea persisted. The Gospel of John begins not with a creation myth, but a frequency. In the beginning was the Word. But the original Greek doesn't say word in the way we think. It says logos, which means divine order, reason, vibration. The beginning wasn't language, it was sound. It was movement, an ancient pulse that brought matter into being. This is why rituals, chants, and sacred geometry were central to spiritual life. Not for superstition, but for resonance. Because the body is an instrument, the mind is a receiver, and the soul is a frequency waiting to be remembered. Today, modern science is finally catching up. Physicists now observe that atoms are 99.999% empty space, held together by energy, vibrating at specific frequencies. Biologists have found that every organ in the human body has its own vibrational signature, and even NASA records the electromagnetic songs of planets. The ancients always knew. They didn't need telescopes or electron microscopes to feel the music of reality. They lived in harmony with it. The invisible symphony, the dance behind the veil, and the moment you pause and truly listen, you might hear it too. We live in a world that appears solid. Tables, walls, bodies, mountains. But what if all of it, everything you've ever touched, held or stood on, is not actually solid at all? What if solidity is just a slowed down illusion? This isn't philosophy, it's physics.